If you were looking for a beginner's guide to using a heat press for sublimation, then stay tuned, you won't want to miss this video. Hey, what is going on? The printer guy here. And in this video, I'm going to cover everything related to using a heat press for sublimation projects. Now, this is a beginner's guide, so really going to be covering a lot of different details in this video and demonstrating different use cases for a heat press. So if this video ends up being helpful, please make sure to like the video. Any questions at all, comment below. And if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. There will also be video chapters down below this video. Everything will be nice and organized for you, so you can skip around if you'd like, but I always recommend you watch the entire video. All right, so these 7 areas I'm going to be covering are heat press types. I'm going to be covering heat press pricing. Number 3, I'm going to be covering heat press accessories, heat press time and the temperatures to use. We're also going to be talking about heat press considerations, the location of your heat press, some safety concerns to keep in mind. We will also talk about some other supplies you will need when using a heat press. And lastly, throughout the video and really towards the end, I'll be demonstrating some different projects I was able to do using a heat press and the different use cases for the specific heat press that I have that's going to be linked down in the description below. Now, throughout this video, I'm going to be demonstrating and giving you visuals of the heat press that I am currently using. But the type of heat press that I am using is not the only type of heat press. So I wanted to talk to you about the types of heat press that there are available on the market. Now, this is probably my least favorite type of heat press. It's very much manual, and it's intensive with the methods that you would have to use, your involvement in the heat press process, and you would also need some additional supplies along with this type of heat press. I find that this type of heat press, a Cricut heat press, is affordable. However, it is a little bit impractical, especially when it comes to doing higher volumes of sublimation designs, sublimation prints. Now, if you were looking to get by and just do a few projects here and there, this type of heat press would work. And I did do several projects, including the one you're seeing here on screen right now. And so it is good if you're doing one-off projects and you're not really going to be doing many projects and you don't really care for all of the different features that some other heat press, such as the one I'm currently using, has. Now, the sizing on a heat press like this is 15 by 12, so this is a smaller size. So if you're looking to do larger projects, t-shirts, you could get by, but you're really going to be limited with size. Now, when it comes to heat press types, I really categorize heat presses into 3 different types. The first one is the one we just talked about, is that Cricut heat press is more of a manual heat press, what I would call it. And then we have a traditional press, and that's the heat press we're going to be looking at next, which is the one that I am currently using, but it's not really high grade. And so the next level above the heat press that I'm going to be talking about next is more of a commercial type of heat press. So just a quick note on the types of heat presses. I would really categorize them in 3 different sections, one being manual, one being a traditional press, and then lastly is a more commercial grade. Those are going to be your more expensive heat presses, and we'll talk about that here in this section. Now, one step up from that Cricut heat press is this traditional press, and this is going to be traditional in the sense that you are able to truly press whatever material it is that you are designing. One big benefit of using a heat press like this is that you have an even press, and it's a consistent press. You're not relying on yourself, on your hands, on your strength to press something. This is machine operated, and that really is going to improve the quality of your projects and will give you more consistency along your projects as well. Now, as you can see, this specific press has different accessories. So you can attach these, and I'll show you that later on in this video, how you're able to attach and do different projects, mugs, hats, metal signs you can do with the press, and t-shirts, of course, but you really have a lot of versatility with this type of heat press. Now, if you use the link down in the description below, it'll take you to Amazon, and you can take a look at some different types of heat presses. There are a lot of other ones that are similar to the setup of this heat press that we're talking about, but then there's a one step up more for commercial use. They're going to be your larger heat presses that can take on larger format prints. Now, with these presses, the price range can really vary. You can be paying around $300 all the way up to several $1,000s. Now I wanted to talk specifically about a heat press like this one. This is a 24 by 32 heat press machine, commercial. You can see the word commercial in there. And this is what I'm talking about. You have a large format, you have a lot of different features with this press, but you do have some different options that you can, within this listing, look at. There's some different sizing, and this option I throw out there just because you might have a specific type of size of press that you want to go for, and you may need something a little bit more specialized. So this is that one step above. This company specifically has all the way down to smaller sized heat presses. But you also have, like I said, a lot of options for larger formats. And so this is just a really good option. This is a listing on Amazon. I'm going to be linking this down in the description below because I think this is a really great product listing, really when it comes to having different size options, especially with larger formats. Now, quickly, I did want to talk about pricing, and really just to give you a snapshot of what we're looking at with pricing. These are general prices. Now, you can check the links down in the description below for these prices, but in general, a manual heat press like the Cricut one we looked at is going to be about $100. Now, the traditional press that I am using here in this video, that one's going to be around $200. I've probably paid less than that on Amazon. So check current pricing down with the links down in the description below. A more commercial sized large format press is going to really range from $300 all the way to $3,000. Now, if you opt to get a heat press that has accessories, this is really what that would look like. You're going to have a lot of different pieces that you would need to store and use them as they come. Specifically, with my heat press, there is a mug press that is separate from the actual heat press, but there is a connection that you can make between the heat source or that adjuster and with that additional accessory. So I'm using the top of the heat press, or the bottom plate actually it is of the heat press, to have everything, hold everything in place, but I'm using a totally separate accessory for a mug. Now this is a project where I am sublimating onto this porcelain mug. Here is the product listing, and you can see here this is an 8-in-1 heat press machine. You have heat presses for hats, plates. You also have it for mugs, like I said, and tumblers. And so this is an option that you can go with. So when it comes to time and heat, it's really going to vary depending on the type of material that you are using. One good example that I'll use in this section is the difference between the heat and time you would need for a t-shirt like this one and a porcelain mug, like I'll show later on in this section. With a t-shirt, you're going to be doing a preheat for about 15 seconds at around 360, 370, and that's really going to be a mid-range temperature that you would use generally with a lot of different types of media. But again, you would have to check specifically. One quick note on temperature that you would use and the time you would use is preheating. You always need to preheat your materials. So with a t-shirt, it's 15 seconds at the temperature that you're going to heat your design at. And when it comes to your design with this t-shirt, I'm going to be doing 60 seconds at about 380. So I went up 10 degrees from the preheat. Now you can use similar heating, and actually I ended up going up with a 45 seconds, and you will see how this design turns out. Now I would go more towards 50 or 60 seconds. 45 seconds I guess is on the low end, and a lot of times you'll experiment a little bit with this setting as well, the temperature and the time. It may be that you need a little bit less, a little bit more, and that really will affect the quality. But now, looking at something like a porcelain mug, you actually would be preheating for maybe 10, 15 seconds, but you would actually, with the design, be using 230 seconds. So 230 seconds at 390 degrees. So you can see we've gone up with the temperature and way up with the time. You're talking about maybe 4 minutes compared to the t-shirt that only needed 45 seconds at about 380 degrees. And you can see the quality that we were able to get with those settings. So you really want to make sure to look into the specific type of temperature and time you need for the different types of materials. But right here in this video, you would know what a t-shirt time and temperature would be, and for a mug as well. All right, so one really important thing that I would keep in mind with heat presses, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this, is the aspect of safety. The location of your heat press matters. The way you use the heat press. I don't leave my heat press plugged in for an extended period. If I'm not using it, I don't leave it plugged in. You have to treat a heat press like you would treat something like, a space heater or a heated blanket. Generally speaking, you don't want to leave those plugged in, and so I treat my heat press the same way. You also want to keep in mind, you want to keep this heat press away from other items, so you want to make sure that there's space, especially when you're using it. You don't want to have a cluttered environment. You want to have, just like I do here in these videos, you want to have the heat press free and clear and have tons of space, on the back end, on the front end, everywhere all around, so that there's enough space to swing that top portion around. Now, this of course is for the heat press that I'm using, but you can also use these tips for any heat press. If you have small children in the house, make sure that the heat press is up and away from them. Just all the commonsensical things. Also make sure to read your user manual. Just wanted to put this in here because it's one of those things that kind of slips our mind if we don't really stop and think about it. Now, assuming that you are doing sublimation prints with this heat press, these are some of the supplies that you would need. Now, you would need sublimation ink. That's going to be very important. Sublimation printer that's already set up with sublimation ink. And heat-resistant gloves, heat-resistant tape, all those types of things that will be required for a project with a heat press. Now, the sublimation ink that I use here on this channel is our in-house brand Best Printers. We are constantly using this product, making sure that it is the absolute best quality. All of the designs you see printed here on this channel that are sublimation come from this Best Printers ink. So that ink is going to be linked down in the description below. We're constantly improving this product, so hopefully that is helpful to you. All right, so in this section, I really wanted to talk about the designs that I have done recently and showcase some of the projects that I've worked on with this heat press. Now, one of the things I really love about this heat press is how easy it is to use, how simplified it is to use, and it really just makes everything easy. Now, you can get something similar to this and get very similar results, or better results even, if you're using a higher quality heat press. Now, I'm really impressed with the price that I've paid for this heat press, with all of the usability that it has. Really, really impressed. I was expecting to have to spend maybe $400 or $500 for something like this, and I've spent maybe less than $200 for this heat press. It's very functional. It's adjustable. I really didn't scratch the surface on how adjustable this specific heat press is. You can pull that lower plate out. You can adjust the height of the press itself. And you will see also that I'm doing different sized apparel. I'm doing, a standard, large t-shirt, but I'm also doing a smaller apparel. This is 12 to 18 months. Previous to that was 4T, 3T. And really, I would say up to extra large, you're going to be good with this size. Now, again, if you were wanting to do larger formats, posters, much bigger apparel, or bigger projects generally, you're going to want to get one of those commercial sized heat presses. It's going to be a lot more expensive, I'm sure, on Amazon though. Through the link down in the description below, you could find something large format that is not as expensive as the one that I showed earlier in this video. Now, along with apparel, you can also do metal signs, just like this one. I'll leave a link for this size down in the description below, but a smaller sized metal sign you can sublimate onto. Now, it has a white coating on the one side, and that really allows for a design to be pressed on there. But as you can see, just like a t-shirt, we were able to use the same press for the metal signage, and you'll be able to do a lot of different types of media. Media being, hats, mugs, plates even. You're able to do with plates. There's a specific molding for that with this specific set that I have linked down below. And next we're going to move on to some mug designs that I was able to do using the specific mug accessory that we kind of covered earlier in this video. But this is the design basically, and I was able to press these and get them nicely onto a porcelain mug. Now, at the time of this recording, it is January 30th. The Super Bowl 60, is on February 8th. By the time you're watching this video, you would know who won the Super Bowl, either the Seahawks or the Patriots. But this is a cool design that I was able to do for both teams onto two separate mugs using the specific mug press. I really hope that this video was able to showcase everything that this specific heat press is able to do, but really generally I was able to speak to other heat presses as well, and just give some general advice when it comes to buying a heat press, using a heat press. I really hope that this video becomes a resource for you when it comes to utilizing your heat press or buying a heat press. Really, I think there was a lot of advice here and a lot of information to help you make a good decision based on your situation. So if this video was helpful, please make sure to like. Any questions at all, comment below. And if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I handpicked 2 videos that are here on the screen for you to watch next. Also consider subscribing to this channel. There's so much helpful content for you if you're a printer owner, and it's just good to have a resource like this for you in the future, whether you're dealing with a printer that's not printing well or you need more printer recommendations. So I look forward to seeing you again in another video.